we are back with a couple of the ladies who started all off in our offshore disclosure program. We have Arlene Martin and June Dudley. We are here, and we're going to be talking about the form that you guys have a big problem with this form, right?
Lots of problems with it. Lots of it. It keeps me up at night.
So you guys really start everything off with our disclosure. So just before we get into the form, just tell us kind of the things that you guys are doing.
Well, I mean, with a new client, we started off right from the beginning, try to gather all the information, and depending upon which program they're going to go into, whether it's going to be the streamlined or the full Offshore Voluntary Disclosure Program, and get all of forms filled out from them that we keep internally, which helps us move the case along throughout the whole offshore team. And start off with, like I said before, if they're going to go streamline or OVDP, and then work on getting them pre-cleared. And then if they're going to go through the Offshore Voluntary Disclosure Program, we have to prepare the disclosure letter and attachments.
Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about right now.
Yes, we're going to try to get them accepted into the program.
Okay, so a little quick question when you're doing this. Is your stack of paperwork, Arlene, is your stack of paperwork about this big, or would it be, tell me where to stop.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Because it could be one binder, 4 binders.
It could be
lengthy depending on the amount of accounts.
So, and we don't know. Now a question is, if someone is streamlined, it still could be just as big as an OVDP.
Sure could.
Absolutely.
Sure. So the amount of accounts you have, how big it is, isn't the thing that determines whether you're OVDP or streamlined.
Right.
Okay. So let's talk about this attachment to the offshore disclosure letter. Now, what Michelle Wynn and Robert Hansen were just discussing at length, that was the whole letter. But now what you guys do is you do the attachment to that letter. So that's what you guys are going to be talking about.
Yes.
So you have some suggestions for improvements. Now, it's actually not as big, is it?
No, it's not really as big at all. No.
Okay.
No. The forms look very simple to us because we do them so often. But
Okay.
I just think that, when you're doing it for the first time, if you're a taxpayer and you're trying to do this yourself, they can look very confusing. One of the simple things that we had seen on the form was the portion where you put in the address and the country to where this bank account is located.
Okay, I saw this. So now tell me, right now, how is the form?
What it lists is it says it says change it says address. It says include the country where the account was established. We want to put that in there instead of including the country where the account was established. You have the address and then you have the country. Of course, you have to have the country of where the account was established, but I think the wording of it is
so make
incorrect.
it more. So just make it a little bit more obvious.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're not hiding the fact of where country, address, not address, which includes the country.
Exactly.
And because address are all a little different around the world about where things are. Okay, that's
exactly.
Okay, so but that's helpful. I mean,
Very
that's definitely
simple.
helpful. Look, okay, that's where their accounts are. If you're wondering, you're not looking at this long address to say, and then their address might actually, their technical address could actually have the foreign language's name for the country, and maybe not everybody knows that Deutschland is Germany.
Exactly.
That's sort of, for instance.
Exactly. So it's just a simple little, thing that we would like change, but we think that it would make it, easier and more precise.
Fantastic. So you got anything else?
I do.
All right.
On line 10, there is listed if funds were transferred from other financial institutions. In there, you're supposed to put the financial name, institution name, the name on the account, the amount of the transfer, and the date of transfer. Sometimes it's when people have these accounts, money is transferred not just from one account into this particular account. So was it transferred from multiple accounts? Was it something that a family member had set up for them and that got transferred into this account? So there really isn't enough area on this form in order to put all of that information. So we were just hoping that perhaps they could almost put in kind of a table that we could put in more information. of when, what account it was transferred from that came into this, how much it was, the various amounts. There's just simply not enough room to be able to explain exactly how this account was established.
And that could certainly cause delay down the road if somebody's looking at this to say, hey, what's going on here? And, you're just not allowed to give the correct story on these forms.
Exactly, and that's what we want to do. We just want to, make sure to, put the client's information, out there, have it accurate and precise, and, just let the IRS know exactly where all of the funds were coming from, and showing, what was happening with these particular accounts.
Nice. What else do you have for me?
Really simple again, same thing. On line 10E, as well as, 11E and 12D. It's kind of the same exact thing that I was just talking about previously. Again, it's about just allowing us more room in there to be able to put more precise information in there. Because the funds are not always just transferred from one particular source. So,
and I think there's some language in there that says, transfers from. It only talks about froms. Well, transfers go in and out.
Exactly.
All over the place.
Well, and that's interesting that you bring that up, because that is one of the questions that we do get a lot from the clients that, well, what about the money? Is it going to look, bad if money was coming in or going out, that kind of thing. We want to make it clear here on these forms. This is where the money was coming from. This is where it was going to. Just trying to show their real picture of what's going on with their particular situation.
Gotcha. Now, let's see here. We also have line 12D. Is that what we're talking about?
That's what we were talking about. Yep. 11E and 12D are pretty much the
same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's just allowing us more room. That's all.
Nice. And
Simple changes.
And I think the last change is that same typo Michelle Wynn was talking about.
Absolutely.
Copy and paste is a dangerous thing, isn't it?
Yes,
Sure
it is,
is.
and I've done it before. So.
Yes,
it is.
So I think that wraps up the changes you guys would like to see made to Form 14454. Next, we are going to get to Form 14452, a foreign account asset statement, and that's going to be after you guys, because you guys don't do that. That's going to be with Elaine and Jen are going to be talking about that coming up next.